Well, guys, I always set out to do like soul skating and not film anything, but I film something every time. So today, I don't know the exact day, but one fateful day in February 1999, probably, I don't know, today's February 3rd, somewhere in the first week of February 1999, I decided to become an active participant in aggressive inline skating. I was downtown killing time. I had to mail some packages, started rolling around on my new setup. Here I had to break in these 76 millimeter wheels, so I didn't get super wheel bite. But I was rolling around and I realized it's like 26 years to the day. Now I did get a pair of recreational inline skates and start skating, I think Christmas 1992 leading into 93. But didn't do much other than just roll around once a month until February 1999 when a friend of mine talked me into it. Thank you, Ian Brown, RIP Ian Brown. He talked me into it, said I would be good. And anyway, that's a whole saga. But what I'm gonna do today is just show you guys real quick at this church, this First Baptist church. This was like the go-to spot to skate. And I'm gonna show you guys where I learned to skate. Okay, so a lot's changed in that amount of time. So this is the curb that I learned to grind on right here. This painted yellow guy. At one point, this thing was slick as butter, slick as ice. It looked like it had so much wax on it. It looked like it had been painted with lacquer. And the first year or two of skating, this was the go-to curb. Good height, it's like 8 inches high, 10 inches high. This is where I learned to soul. This is where I learned to Mizu, P-Star, Machio. This is where I failed to learn to Royale. That's what they told me the go-to trick was the Royale. And I never got good at them. I mean, it took me like 5 years to get good at Royales, even though I was already doing handrails. But this was the curb. Now these rails, these were not here. These were added later. I think they had, I want to say, yeah, they had rails bolted to the wall. So you can see that bolt hole in the middle. But yeah, they had a couple rails bolted to the wall. We would grind this. And, the youth pastor and the pastor and stuff, they used to tell us these scare tactic stories that, old ladies slip and broke their hips on it, but they were really just trying to get us to stop skating. So now being a 40-year-old adult, I see what they were getting at, but if they would have just told us straight up, instead of like making up fantastical stories, maybe that would have resonated better. So anyway, now this is a 2005 thin piece of crap aluminum rail that doesn't slide, and it's too high. The best rail in town used to start right here and go all the way to the parking lot. And this handicap ramp was actually a 2-stair, then a space, then another 2-stair. And you would jump on this handicap rail. It was super low. This is the second handrail I ever did. I have some super old footage of it. I got a capture off of a VHS-C, which I haven't, you guys have never seen that footage. But yeah, this used to just be a series of little mini gaps in this perfect rail. And for 2 weeks in, January 2000, barely a year into skating, I was just slaying this rail. I was doing sit down soles all the way across it, like I was a pro. Then I slipped off of it within that first 2 weeks. And I think I broke my ribs. Never went to the doctor, but I couldn't breathe for like 2 full minutes. I think I was turning purple. That scared me from rails for quite a while. So anyway, I never did hit it again. I've hit plenty of bigger, crazier rails, but I never did hit it again. It was torn down by the time I kind of got back on the horse. Now this, we used to go up these stairs, and one time I did an acid drop. I just climbed on the outside of the ledge, put my back wheels in these holes here, and just jumped off like that was a trick to do. Like I was gonna turn pro. doing that. It was pretty ridiculous. This is the best water fountain in town. It worked until about 2 or 3 years ago. It's like a water fountain from like the 50s, and it has ice cold water. Doesn't work anymore. I'm gonna go ahead and make a cut and show you guys the other side. Well, you know what? This place is small. I don't even know why I needed to make a cut. Now, a lot of these war stories happened 1999, 2000, 2001, but around 2005, when I was hanging out with some of the newer crew, Ben Sanders from iRoller Boot, his little brother Ben, Daniel, Ricky, shout out Ricky, Stephen Graham, you know, a couple other people, Jonathan Williams, Bryce to a lesser extent. He was busy being an adult. We had this entire hallway at one point waxed up, and it was just a crazy cess slide pad. Now, I didn't wax it myself. I think Ben and Bill were responsible for that. And I was never that good at cess slides. There was a time I could do like a UFO or a Unity cess slide pretty far, I don't know, 15 feet, but I destroyed my skates in the process and swore off cess slides. But yeah, so this is the little super smooth cess slide alcove hallway. And then that curb on the front was pretty gnarly, but this is the one that I really learned, you know, and you can see the throwback signs that were put up. When I started rollerblading, I mean, there was like 40 rollerbladers in this small town of 20,000 people. It was crazy. Wasn't many skateboarders, but there was just a ton of rollerbladers. They all quit within like 6 months or less of me starting skating, to where there was only like 3 rollerbladers in town until I kind of built my own scene. But yeah, we used to have this waxed. Again, they pressure washed it, got all the wax off. But yeah, and there was a piece of angle iron laying around here too for some reason. We would lay that on top of the curb and grind it. And I did a lot of this grinding I'm talking about on like a pair of Blade Runners with Senate grind plates and a custom groove grinded into the frame. This little one step here, this curb, is the first place I ever did a street 540. My first 540 was over a homemade like 2 foot, 3 foot spine at my friend's house, but the first street 540 was off of this little curb here. Pretty ridiculous. And you know, it didn't take long before I was doing 5 stairs, 6 stairs, eventually roofs. But yeah, that's just been a quick overview for the 26th anniversary of me rollerblading, me being an active participant in aggressive inline skating. Just wanted to film a little vlog. I've been actually wanting to do this for years, but every time February rolls around, I keep forgetting. So, yep, that's it. That's Mike McFly. Have a good one, guys.